Hello, my name is Jay Bear, and welcome back. This is episode 10 of my creative series, where I go around on a creative server that I play on with friends and show off some of the things that we've built together. And in the last episode, we started going around the amusement park and taking a look at some of the things that we've built in this area. And we're going to continue that because there is still a little bit left to get through. So we left off here over at the miniature golf course, and we were following this train line here, and we're going to go over this way, skip a couple things because I want to show the bridge that we made for the train to go across, and then it loops around right back over here to the train station right down there. And I don't really know what this thing is. We made some type of weird lava feature here. There was lava and bedrock here previously, and we just kind of expanded it and made it some type of just odd lava attraction. So let's go back over this way because this is the area that we still need to go through. And we're going to come over this way, actually. We're going to come in through the entrance. And as you can see, we still have a lot of room right in this area to build. So there's still plenty of room to build in this area. A lot of birds out here. But this is a jungle biome, so they probably are spawning naturally. But anyway, this is our zoo. And so you come in through here, and you can go around through the zoo. And in the middle here, we have a little bird area. Over here, we have some sea turtles. There were only 2, but I think some of the eggs may have hatched that we put down as decorations. We weren't expecting that to happen. Over here, we have a little barn that you can go through that leads into the petting zoo area. And there's a lot of farm animals, horses and donkeys and sheep and chickens, pigs, and llamas, and bunnies. All of the animals that you would see on a farm or in a petting zoo are over in this area here. And something that would be, of course, unique to Minecraft, since they don't exist in real life, would be the mushrooms. Have their own little mushroom biome habitat here. And over here in this area, we have a couple of foxes over in this spruce forest. There's the other one. And then over here on this side, we have a couple of wolves. You know how when you go to a zoo and you're looking for the wolves, you can never see them? Like you're standing out here and you're looking around and you can't see the wolves, and you walk over to the side and you can see one way in the back someplace, but you can't get a good look at it because they just don't come out front. That's what this is like. Unintentional, but look at them. They're all just kind of hanging out here in the back, hiding. And I think wolves and foxes attack each other, and so we do have barrier blocks that keep them separate from each other so that they don't fight and kill each other. And then over here we have a little bit of a jungle biome, and once again, can't find the animals. They're in the back again, of course. We have a couple pandas and a parrot that isn't supposed to be here, but is. And then over here, we have barrier blocks once again, so that's why I was struggling to get through there. We have ocelots over on this side. This would be a very boring visit to this section of the zoo. Can't see any animals. Oh, there, you can see the ocelot. That's how it is whenever you go to a zoo. It's just like, well, where's this animal at? It's hiding back in the trees. And here we have an icy area for a couple of polar bears. And then we have a little gift shop with stuffed animals. As any zoo always has tons of stuffed animals that you can purchase. So that is our zoo. Over here, this building this was here when we found this area, and we decided to leave it in place, and we moved it over because it was going to be too close to our train tracks, I think. And so we moved it over this way using World Edit. This red boundary is where it was before, so you can see we still have some under construction type of things going on. We've got barricades here for the train, and we've got another monorail station here that you can get off and come down to this side of the park. So the monorail is not just a ride, but it's a mode of transportation around our park. And we have over here an icy area, and so we have this giant ice castle here. And this is uncompleted. We intend to put some type of water park in here, because you know how some water parks are very themed, and this one is going to be like an icy castle winter theme type of water park, and it's going to push the player around. And I don't know, I might use some player launchers with slime blocks to bounce a player around, and then this is where they end up at the end. And this is once again blocked in with barrier blocks, but they'll end up here and come flying up out of the top of the castle. And so all of this water is held in place with barrier blocks as well, because I wanted something that looks like it's just squirting water out of the top of it. And if we go over here, we have this little building that looks like a giant snowball. Line that goes through, and you come out here, and this is a boat course. So if we get in the boat, we can go around the course on the boat, and they go so fast. It is so hard to steer these boats around the corners. Well, I'm not doing that bad with it. Looks like somebody left all the boats over here. Yeah, I'm just constantly crashing. All right, there we go. And the way that we made this is we wanted it to look like ice spikes, and so we actually copied some ice spikes from an ice spike biome and used those as the supports to hold up the ice track. And this whole area is eventually going to be converted to something completely snowy and icy. And over here, we have an ice cream shop. Giant ice cream cone, the cherry on top. Looks very much like what you would expect from an ice cream shop. Then if we go over here and come out the backside, there's just a little decorative house back here. A little icy house with a dock, a little fire pit. And that is it for the icy, snowy castle area. And we're going to come down here. And we're going to come past the Grand Prix. And we're going to come into this area, which is meant to be Mario. So you can see we've got the question mark block with a coin coming out of the top. We've got, what is this guy's name? The guy that flies around and throws the spiny shell guys at you. I can't remember what his name is. We got a Starman. We have Mario and Luigi. We have a giant 1-up mushroom, which is also over in the Arts District. I moved it over to here, but I forgot to get rid of the original one, so I have to do that eventually. Same entrance in the back with the same jokes that I had in there before. And if you don't remember, it's, why don't people make houses out of mushrooms? See other side for the answer. Because there's not much room inside of them. Yeah, I know. It's bad. It's It's a bad joke that I have had twice in my videos now. And we have these pipes that you can go down. And we should hear some music. That was kind of quiet. There you go. So it's meant to sound like the sound of going down a pipe. And I was really hoping that this would move the player a little bit faster through the sewer system. This is made to look sort of like Rainbow Road. But this doesn't really push the player all that fast through here. And then at the end, I was hoping that it would push them over into this water stream, but that you get stuck here. So you gotta move into the water stream yourself, but you come up the other pipe. So just like in Mario, where you go down one pipe and come out the other, that's what this is intended to be like. And this is just a mess that I have over here that I gotta clean up. I was messing around with note blocks, trying to get the sound of going down the pipe to sound as good as possible. So I think that is it. Let me check the map. Yes, so that is it for the amusement park area. I have now shown the entire thing in this video and the other video that I uploaded before. And so we're going to go look at one last thing that we have built together in our area. And so I will see you over there. All right, so I'm now standing over near our craftball stadium and the aquarium over in our city. And just across the river from the city, we have another city. We have an end city. So let's go over there and we're going to take a look. We can see that the road transitions and goes into an end city type of road. And you can even see the sky changed because we set this as an end biome. And this is pretty big. You can see there's a lot of buildings here. A lot of chorus fruit. I'm not going to go into detail to look at all of these buildings. But the purpose, well, we wanted to, the reason that this happened is because of this. I copy and pasted this end city, like an actual real end city, from the end over to this open field area. And we even got shulkers with it. And the reason I had copied this here is because I wanted to take some parts of this and put it in our museum back when we were building that. And so this end city was here. And then I learned about the fog effect, where you put a light source on the bottom. In our case, we're using lava, and then you do layers of glass. And I came over here and started experimenting and playing around with that and put a moat around this, built a bridge. And then we're like, you know what would be really cool is if we just built a massive end city around it, not using the same buildings that go in the end city, but come up with our own. And so that's what we did. We have this giant end city palace up here, or castle. You've got all these towers and buildings with connecting bridges. You know, just a very big, massive jumble of stuff. And this is not quite done. It's empty inside, and what I'm intending on doing is going through and blocking up all the windows so that when you look inside, you don't just see that it's hollow looking. Because we're not going to go and decorate this whole thing. It's way too much to do. So it's kind of like when we come over here and look at these buildings, if we look at this one here, for example, it just looks like it's got purple windows and you can't see anything inside because there is nothing inside. They're all hollow. And that's a good way of making your buildings look complete without having to decorate everything inside, is to block the windows up. So if we come down here and we walk through, we can see we have a very unusual road. We wanted something that looked very different and in-city-like. And we've got all of these staircases and bridges and platforms and things to get around. They connect to the buildings, but there's no doorways up here because, well, Who lives here? Endermen. They don't need doorways. They can just teleport in and out of the buildings. So the way we made these is we made big blocks. Like this is one block here. These 4 buildings. So we got the circle one. We have this one here that kind of zigzags up like that. Then we've got a little building underneath of it. And then we have this building here. This is a block of 4 buildings. And what we did is we made several unique blocks. I think we have like maybe 4 or 5 of them. And we copied those around, moved, rotated. And so when we take a look, like this one here, for example, this building, you can see it's a bunch of little cube-like buildings. We will see that repeated. Let's say there's one over there. So there's a lot of repeated use of buildings here to fill out the city. But I'm pretty happy with this. I really like how it turned out. I think it's a pretty cool build. It did become quite difficult after a while just to look at purple all the time. So we did need to break it up and do other things in between. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting build and very unique, something that I've never worked on before. All right, and I do have a couple other things to show you as well. All right, so we are back over here in Magic Town, and if we take a look here, I mentioned before that there was this bridge that leads out of Magic Town across the river over to the west, I believe. And if we follow this little path, which I'm not going to walk down because it takes too long, over here into the woods, we can see the path goes down, it winds around, and there's a little village over here. Incomplete, but this is a village one of my friends is building, and I think it looks really cool. I'm looking forward to when she has a chance to come back on and finish this because it looks awesome. It's a really, really nice little village just tucked away over here in the trees. Got a little fishing building and just a lot of little buildings over here. I think it looks really cool. And she doesn't use world edit like I do. I world edit a lot of things and she builds most of her stuff by hand. Like she might fill in holes and stuff like that using the fill command, but mostly she builds everything manually. And I think this is a really awesome build. And we got a couple other things to look at too. All right, and here I have the beginning of a castle. So over here, my intention is that there will be like a medieval village or town down here. And we have this big, huge bridge that comes up to this castle up here. And I've got walls that go around the outside of it. And I've got the castle, the interior castle started. But as you can see, this is quite unfinished. I do have this little building over here, which is like a little keep of itself, of its own. This is up on top of a cliffside. And I really need to return to this and continue working on this because it's still got a lot of work left to do on it. There is one part of this that is complete. And I'm going to go over and we're going to take a look at that part of it. If you see right down there, there's this wooden bridge that leads over into the town area. And if we walk up these stairs, or fly up the stairs, I have a map of it right there, and we come across this bridge, it leads over here to a jousting arena. And if you remember from the amusement park, there was an arena there. It's the same one, just with all the colors changed. And you can see there is an audience. And I might need to do something about this if I'm going to be spending time over here working on this, because this is a lot of armor stands. It's a lot of entities. You can see I'm right there. I'm actually right over here with all of the friends that I play with on this server. I have a bunch of people from Hermitcraft on here as well, and just a bunch of other random heads. Some that are from people that play on this server. There's Marvel characters, Harry Potter characters, there's Star Wars characters, Lord of the Rings characters, Mario characters, Shrek. So a lot of different types of characters in here. And we can see these two guys ready to joust each other. And we have the royal family over here, the king and the queen, and a prince and a princess, and then just some of the, I don't know, ruling people, some elders in the ruling council or something like that. And then we got a couple towers over here. We have guards standing around various places. And we have an announcer booth. Yeah, I know you wouldn't have an announcer booth at a jousting arena, but I thought that was kind of funny to add in. These guys are standing here at a medieval jousting arena, and they're using microphones. So if we come in here, underneath, we can come over here around to the back. Let's go inside here first. And this is like the area that the people participating in the jousting might hang out. We got a couple of knights here hanging out, sitting at a table together. And there's food for them, there's drinks, and then there's a blacksmith over here to repair their armor and to prepare their weapons and things. And then this just leads back out over to this side. And if we come down this way, out of the arena, we come over to the stables, where they keep their horses between matches or while they're waiting for their turn, you know. So I really like how this is all turning out. I'm very happy with the progress that I made on this. But like I said, it's been a long time since I worked on it, and I really need to return and continue working on this. And we've got a couple other little things to look at. This might seem a little bit silly, but I have this little island here with this little house and a dock and a little tiny farm. I call this Noob Island because you know how when you're brand new to Minecraft, you just build this ugly little house, very, very small, like starter base, and there's a villager sleeping in bed. And you've got your crafting bench, your chest, and your furnace. That's it. So, Noob Island. And for some reason, I put a bunch of mushrooms here. So, this is just out in the middle of the ocean, out in the middle of nowhere. Just a random little thing that I built one day. Okay, and this is the last area that I have to show on this server. There's this area I have kind of off in the middle of nowhere where I put together the pixel art that I have made. Here we can see this little character. This is a yellow meanie that I made for my friend by the name Yellow Meanie. And we have other various maps that we use. We have a brown one, a white one, a red, different things like that. But every now and then there's a contest on this server, and I copy my builds from those contests over to this area to preserve them, because the contest world gets wiped out whenever the contest is over or a new one's beginning. This one was a science fiction contest. I didn't really know what to do for it. I don't really understand what the purpose of this thing is, but you can see the end portals down there shooting up their purple beams. So just meant to be something odd and science fiction-y. I've got the glass effect with the fog effect with the glass down here. You know, and there's these control rooms off to each side of this circular area. And so it's meant to look like they're drilling down and pulling something out of the ground. And you can see I've used the end portals in the system here. So don't really know what it is, but it's interesting. I did not win the contest with that. This one was a free-for-all. You could build whatever you wanted. And I kind of had this idea of some type of hall type of area where there's a battle going on. And I don't know why I picked purple and white. I think I saw it someplace and wanted to do some type of checkered pattern with purple and white. And so we've got these kings here all on the along the side. And we have all of our heroes here. We've got the warrior. We've got the wizard. We've got the druid. We have the woman. I don't know what she is. Healer, maybe? Doesn't make sense. She's in the front. We've got a dwarf. And we've got an archer. And so they're fighting this giant hellhound type of creature that is coming out of a massive portal. And it's meant to look like kind of an undead type of thing. Like this side is still kind of alive, like dog type of texture. And this side is fiery, burning type of monster creature side. You can see it's not quite out of the portal. It's still emerging from the portal. It has not made it through all the way. And if we come down here and we stand on the pressure plate, we hear music and we see him firing fire charges out of his mouth. The wizard's staff changes colors. Sort of. There we go. You can see it's brighter orange on the bottom, lighter orange on the top, because it is passing through a couple of things. There was nothing I could do to change that. And the archer is firing arrows. And actually, if we just take and throw an item on here. Let's see, can I drop an item? I don't think so. I think that's a limitation of the server. They don't let us drop items anymore. But anyway, we can see that the archer here fires arrows. And we can actually make that go off by moving through this tripwire. I'm not setting it off. Anyway, I think actually the system has to be activated for that to fire. I think that's the way they have that set up. So that's one of my contest entries. And I don't think I won with this one. I think I was like an honorable mention. This one was meant to be Apocalypse. And let's go over to the front of it. All right, so you can see there's actually two versions of this build here. There's the unruined version, sort of unruined, and then there's the ruined version that is the Apocalypse version. So this unruined version here, I decided to, before I ruined things, like I did the entrance here, I did that before I realized, you know what, I should save the undestroyed version because of wanting to build an amusement park. And so I started keeping all of the non-destroyed versions. That way we could take these and put them over in our amusement park when we started building that, which you have already seen. So this place is called Funland, and this is the entrance here. And you come in and there's ticket booths and it's all overgrown and falling apart because it's Apocalypse, right? Some various buildings, like gift shops that would be near the entrance that are all destroyed and overgrown and falling apart. A little fountain here. This is bumper cars, which you saw in the amusement park. Same building, just this is the destroyed version. Got a little planter strip here with some benches and some little tent type stalls. Ice cream cone, which you also saw earlier in this video actually. Ferris wheel. Now, I built this Ferris wheel first and destroyed it before realizing, hey, I should keep a copy of it. And this is actually quite a challenge to build something that looks circular that is leaning over like it's going to fall. That was not easy to build. Here we have the carousel, all destroyed and falling apart. Just a tree struggling to stay alive. Some lava flowing through, which actually in the contest build, there was another build next to mine that had lava flowing underneath the road. And so I just made it look like it was continuing over into my area. This is bathrooms. all falling apart and destroyed. Water in here and unspeakable items on the floor. Are we missing something? Yeah, we're missing a chunk right here. I wonder what happened to that. That's interesting. We're missing part of this through here. I guess I didn't paste the whole thing when I brought it over. Anyway, you can see the roller coaster all destroyed and falling apart. And I do have the undestroyed versions of these things over here as well. And you can see the swing that I built, which is also over in our amusement park with the colors changed. Like, I built these here for this, and they all got changed. Space Needle there, and this evil, scary-looking funhouse, which looks scary enough, not destroyed. I wish I still had the destroyed version. I don't know what happened to this. But the destroyed one looked even creepier and scarier. And it would have been like right here. So, unfortunately, that is not here. And I believe I won second place for this contest build. So that is it. That is everything that I have built with my friends or on my own on this server. And I will hopefully be starting a new creative series very soon. I have plans for one, and keep an eye out for that. So if you like this episode, please click the like button and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.